Welcome back, my turtles, to another art video with Foxfoot Crafts. Today's video features the creation of a comic book blank that is a Superman blank. So, kind of like what I've been doing before, to test it, I go ahead and put a sticker on my backing board and then stamp the back to see how well the ink holds to it. What this will do is, I'm testing a theory anyway, that if the ink from the stamp holds on the back of it, then that'll tell me if it's just a clean, smooth Bristol board or if it's one of those plastic composite boards. And this will help whether I'm going to do something that's quick or a more detailed, full-colored piece. Now, luckily, this one did stamp really clean and really well, which tells me that I can go ahead and do a nice full comic book spread on this. Now, like always, I like to use a scrap piece of computer paper that I've cut to size, trace out where the words and everything are, and then go through and sketch out the cover. The reason I like to sketch out on the scrap piece of paper and then transfer is the Bristol board does not always erase, and I'll go through a lot of changes, you know, moving it around and erasing and trying again, and on the comic book blank cover itself, that may not look as nice as I would like. So by going through and sketching that out, it allows me to edit and clean it up, make sure it is how I want it to look. After I have my sketch how I want it, I will use my light board, put down the sketch, and then use an ink pen to go over and actually draw out the outline on the comic book itself. That also helps with the darkness of the ink pen. I've had a lot of ink pens where if I sketch something in pencil and then use a liner pen and then try to erase the pencil lining, it erases some of the pigment from the liner pen as well, and so it won't be as dark or as crisp of a black. So this helps with that as well. Now I'm not sure why I kind of got in the mood, but I decided instead of using a darker blue to shade, I was going to go with the more traditional comic book look where they use a black to shade on top of the blue. I don't know why, it felt right for the time. So after I go through with my blue, I went over with my liner pen and added in some of those darker line shading details. And I think it turned out pretty well. It's very traditional to the Superman comic book style. In retrospect, I should have done this after I finished coloring Supergirl and Batgirl, but the mood just hit and I was like, why not go for it? Sometimes you just gotta do what the heart wants. And I sort of decided to do the opposite with Batgirl, where I used the black as the primary and then left a little bit of area to do blue as the highlights. And this is something that I definitely want to try to get better at, because it really fits that more traditional comic book appearance. I tried to make sure I used a ruler. I really struggle with trying to draw straight lines. Like they are so hard. So I try to use a ruler when I can, and just draw a quick little box around them to add a pop of color. My Sharpie did end up touching some of the black liner, so it made this weird little darker smeary mark in the end, up there in the corner. So I decided to stick with my traditional kind of polka dot splotch around there in a darker color to hide that. But for the reveal, there we have it, and I love how vibrant this piece is. They're so cute together. I imagine that if they're not a couple, they're definitely, best friends who just like go out and fight crime, then are taking selfies and sending them back and forth to each other. I love them, and I love this comic. Let me show you all what it looks like scanned in. There it is, super vibrant and wonderful. So this piece will be available for sale. If anyone is interested, you can reach me at foxfootcrafts@gmail.com, and I look forward to seeing everyone next time.